Welcome to shoulder day. This was a good workout. Oh man, let me get my coffee. I left my coffee over here, man. I uh, I normally just drink coffee in the mornings, but on Friday and Saturday, usually in the evening, I have some coffee. I just like it. I'm a coffee junkie. Okay, so it's actually spitting rain outside right now, or during this, and but we did 3 plates today. I was actually feeling a little strong. I'll explain why later. It had something to do with the diet. Um, but we did 3 plates. I'm leaning forward like I normally do, just slightly. It's nothing crazy, but I just when I lean forward a little bit as opposed to being up straight, I really can squeeze like the shoulders back a little bit as I'm coming up, and just really hit the lat. Or I'm sorry, not the lat, the trap. So this was pretty good. We got some pretty good reps using the wrist straps too, because I like using wrist straps on things like this or like any kind of pulling movement. I'm usually a strapper. I like strapping it. You got to stay strapped, especially in Florida. But yeah, these were 3 good sets. We did two. Two of these sets, as you'll see, were with 3 plates, and then I dropped it to 2 plates just to get a little bit of a higher rep in there. Excuse me. Wow, that's hot coffee. I grind my own beans. Organic Trader Joe's coffee. Freaking the best. But yeah, it's actually it does you can't really see it, but it's actually spitting rain. It's light. It's a light rain, but it's been kind of raining off and on today. So form, I don't have a problem with the form. I mean, you're only going to be able to, the heavier you go with these, you're only going to be able to squeeze so much at the top because you just can't hold it there. It's just too freaking heavy. So this one, now we dropped it down to 2 plates. This is the final set of shrugs. Usually I think 3 sets of shrugs does the trick for me. Sometimes I'll do 4. In very rare occasions I'll do 5, but that's very, very rare. But here we go. Just shrugging it up, and what I'm trying to do. I want to hit the traps, but I also for the shrugs I want to hit more the top, and even the back, but the upper part of the back of the trap. If that makes sense. That's what I'm going for here because I need that like that. Bam! Look, I don't have that yet. It's getting there. It's getting there. Some people just genetically have those crazy upper traps. I'm not one of them guys, so I got to work a little harder at it. And that's it for the shrugs. We move it on inside. I haven't done these in a few weeks. Little face pulls through the stack on there. It's easy to do the stack on these because you're laying down. Now if I was doing them upright like this, which I don't really like doing them because you got it, it's so much core that you can't even concentrate on like the weight. I prefer it lying down just like this. Um, Now, this I have tried this repeatedly with my head completely flat against the floor. It's almost impossible for me to do it because I can't come back and squeeze the lat. I keep saying lats. I can't come back and squeeze the traps when I'm doing it. Like if I'm just flat like this, I can only come. I can't throw my shoulder blades back together. So, in this instance, I'm gonna say it's perfectly fine to have a little bit of a bobblehead going up and down here. I don't think that you can. I don't think that anybody can fully execute this exercise with their head completely flush. Maybe if you're on a bench and you're elevated a little bit and you can kind of bring your arms back a little bit. But when you're just lying flat on the floor, I don't see. I wouldn't be able to do the exercise properly if I didn't have my head up a little bit. Second set here. Not bad. There's nobody in there tonight. Hardly. Oh, I see one guy in the background running around. It's Friday night, man. Everybody's at the bar or at the restaurants and stuff. That's all right. Maybe they went earlier in the day. Second set, you know, with these, I try to come like kind of pull it more towards like my forehead as opposed to like here. I noticed that if I come here versus if I come here versus here, I'm able to just kind of squeeze the trap. I didn't say lat. I'm able to squeeze the trap a lot better. But those were two good sets. I was definitely pleased with them, and I did a third set of these because I haven't done them in a while. And these are I think this is a phenomenal trap exercise. Now, you are getting a little. You're definitely working the rear delts in this too. It's impossible not to, but it's 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 like 80% trap focused, right? That's the way I'm doing it. But it's impossible. Like if hypothetically you were to remove the rear delts from my body during this exercise, it would be near impossible to do this exercise. So there is a lot of rear delt, and it's a good warm up. Like I like doing these before doing the rear delts because it is a good warm up for the rear delts. So 3 sets, and we called it. That's the trap workout. Okay, so we move on over. I love this exercise. Now I had the cables a little too low on the first set. I had to move them up a notch on the second set. I prefer to come from up as opposed to coming this way. Like if you're on the pec deck machine. So these were they were a little bit low, and you can see that they're a little bit low. I prefer them a little bit higher. But this was actually heavy. I think this was 40 or 50. I don't remember. It was either 40 or 50 on 4 or 5 plates on the stack. But they were heavy. I mean, the first few reps were good, but then it just got so heavy. I think I did, what was that, 7? Something like that. So then I went down a plate because I wanted to get a little bit higher rep. If I would have stuck with that same weight, I would have gotten like 5. So lower it down just a notch, and I raised the cables up a little bit where I prefer them to be, and I just grab it by. I don't put a handle on these. I just grab it by the little ball, and just kind of go like that. That's what feels best for me. If I put a handle on there, it kind of messes it. It feels very odd. I can't really do it right because I like my wrists to be straight. You know, I don't want them like this with a handle. So now this one, so you can see the cables are a little bit higher. Felt a lot better, but these first 2x, it wasn't giving me the pump in the rear delt that I was really looking for. So I did make a change here. I think I went over, actually I forget what I did. What did I do? Well, we're gonna find out. Let's see, I got the clip here. Oh, okay, yeah. I just did dumbbell reverse flies. And even this, well, I'll get to that in a second. Let's check the form. Let's see what I'm doing. Let's see what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Pinkies are kind of outward like this. You know, they're not like this. I like doing them like that. Just gives me a little bit better leverage. Form is okay. You know, I prefer to do these on that same bench with the back on an incline and just kind of leaning forward on it and kind of cranking them out that way. Just because it supports it just supports your chest, and you can really kind of be a little bit more strict with the movement. But I mean, this was okay. I mean, it was a 30s. I think they were 30s. It was okay, but again, I just wasn't getting what I wanted out of the rear delt work. So I switched yet again. This is the third type of exercise for the rear delt. I just went over to pec deck. Usually you can't lose with pec deck reverse flies. I mean, it usually hits 100% of the time. And it did with this. So this actually felt really good. I got the drop set pins in there. So we just did 1 set. We just dropped it. There we go. The first set was pretty heavy. I don't remember what I had it at. Maybe 150, something like that. Then I think we went to like 120, and then like to 70 or something like that. I don't know. But this is where like in my mind, I'm thinking in my head right now, I wish I would have just started and finished with this because this actually felt good. So sometimes the cable reverse flies feel phenomenal. They didn't feel phenomenal today. Sometimes the dumbbells feel really good. It was mediocre today. This was 100% spot on. So I did a little bit of a rest pause here. Form is good. Shoulders are down. It's like one of the most important things I think on this exercise. And my back, I have my back kind of, I'm on the bench, pads right here, but my back is arched when I'm doing these, right? So like my butt's kind of sticking out, my back is arched. So getting a nice good squeeze. You can't really see the arch from this angle, but yeah, overall, man, I'm giving a thumbs up, man. It was good. That was good. So we just moved over to the what do they call it? ISO lateral press, overhead press, whatever you want to call it, shoulder press, military press, whatever. It's overhead press. Now, I did something a little bit different. I don't do this traditionally, but I only have 2 plates on here. Again, yeah, some days I can throw 3 plates on here and I can crank out 6 to 8 reps. Man, just the last couple of weeks, that shit just wasn't happening. So even the 2 plates was actually heavy, believe it or not. So, but I mean, we're kind of, like 3/4 of the lift over. So I'm starting to get tired too. And I think if I started out with this, I'd be able to probably put 2 1/4 on there and crank out the same amount of reps that I just did right here. And I turned the camera around and I immediately did a superset. So just went right over to the old school 1989, circa 1989 lateral raise machine. I love this machine. I don't remember what the weight. I don't even think I looked at the weight. I just kind of put it where it felt good and I could get a good squeeze. But these were pretty intense. Like going back and forth, it was really lighting up the shoulders, man. I definitely got a pretty good pump out of this lift. And I'm starting to get tired at this point. I mean, we did we did the shrugs, we did the rear delts, we did traps. We did a lot of movements already. So here we are for set 2. Let's see if my head stays flat on the pad. I was trying to concentrate on that, but sometimes you just lose concentration a little bit while you're in the middle of a set. You're just concentrating, like your body's natural reaction is to do whatever it has to get the weight up. Still stayed at 2 plates. Yeah, okay, better. Head flat against the pad. Let's see if it stays there. Hopefully it stays there, because that's, in my eyes, the proper way to do it. All right, a little bit of bobble in there. Okay, all right. On the last set, no big deal. What are you gonna do? Nobody's perfect, right? Except my wife. She's perfect. Flip the camera around. Go right back over to this bad boy. We kept it at the same weight. I didn't adjust anything. Just going right in here and cranking out more reps. Form here is pretty good. I mean, the only way you can really mess this form up is if, you're just kind of like doing this, like jerking the weight up, but my whole torso is staying, against the pad, chest against the pad, shoulders down, and I'm just, I'm keeping the weight. If you notice, you can see the plates. They never touch, okay? So until the end. So it's constant tension on the shoulder. That's what I want. So, and then I think this is the finisher right here. I don't know what I dropped the weight. That's what I'm saying. As if I'm not going to talk about it. I don't know. So I think I have a 1.25 plates on is what I have. Maybe it's a 1.35 plates. I don't remember. I think it's a 1.25 plates. Head's flush, head's back. That's good. I'm not bobbleheading all over the place. A little bit. There we go. I spoke too soon. I think I did I'm saying, wait a minute. I'm not done. Shoulders they're smoked. They are smoked. I can feel, I'm feeling it. I can feel, they feel like they're twice the size of what they normally are. So just did a rest pause. Go back in. Do a little more damage. There we go. Okay, better than last week. The head back against the pad is definitely better than last week. It's coming up still a little bit, but it's better. We're getting progress, not perfection. All right. Flip that bad boy around. Let's do another set over here. I think I did a different angle. There we go. That's what I love about the magnet. You just kind of like throw it anywhere, you know. It's almost more. It's actually more convenient than a tripod, believe it or not. I mean, I think so. I think I lowered the weight by a plate on this last set here. But nice, slow, controlled movement, shoulders down. No, none of this trying to get the weight up. I don't see any problem with the movement itself. Looks pretty good. I think I did a rest pause here coming up. Yeah. Rest. Wait a minute. I'm not done. Biatch. All right. Here we go. I'm winded, man. I'm tired. Man. I'm feeling it. The rear delts are poking out. The side front delts. Everything is feeling. This was a successful training session. Let's put it that way. Just jump back on there. What was that? Maybe like 15, 20 seconds rest. Crank a couple more out. And we will be looking good. Not bad. Getting them partials in there. I'm okay with partials. That tension is on the muscle, and that's what I'm most concerned about. There we go. To failure. I could put a nice check mark next to the shoulder workout for today. And then we went over, I found the best lighting that I could. Ripped off the shirt. Just check out the rear, the whole delt as a whole. Yeah, coming along. Better than they were, I mean, I used to not train my shoulders, man. I was one of those guys that I was like, well, I'm doing my shoulders when I do my chest. And it just didn't look right. When my shoulders started popping out, that's when I started, the whole arm and chest just looks way better. But not bad. I mean, rear delts, you're starting to see that separation in the back between the rear delt and the tricep. Nothing crazy, but we're getting there. Like I said, progress, not perfection. Not bad. Definitely seeing that. What I would really like to do is get a shoulder pump and an arm pump together and check it out. That would look freaking sick. I gotta do that one day. Cause I got a feeling, like chest, shoulders, and arms. That would look really sick. So, not bad. Not a bad workout overall. So real quick, we already talked about the workout. We don't really need to talk too much about that anymore. We got a little light over there. But overall, it was a great workout. I had to bounce around a little bit with the rear delts, just because if I'm not feeling it 100%, I like to just move on. I just want to try something else. So we tried 3 different exercises before the rear delts really started feeling what I wanted to feel. Right, no big deal. I don't see any issue, and I don't know anybody in the gym world that has an issue with if something feels not great during a movement, just move on, try something different, right? I mean, it's not in the bodybuilding Bible anywhere that you have to do the same exercise if it's not feeling right, right? So you don't want to work through that. Just change it up a little bit, I mean, I do that all the time. So, let's talk about the diet a little bit. I did weigh myself this morning. So last night I said in my video before I hung up the hat and went to bed that my guesstimation was I was going to be morning weight between 204 and 205. I wasn't far off, although I was really anticipating 205, but I was 206, pretty much on the money. So I was close. Okay, so last week we were 209. This week we're 206. So we're making progress. We know the diet's working. I mean, 100%, right? So, I mean, you can see like in the shoulders and even in the chest the other day, there's more vascularity than there was at the beginning of the cut. We're starting to see a little bit more separation in the muscles in the arms and the chest and the shoulders. I haven't done a back check yet after a back workout, but I will. But yeah, I mean, overall, the diet's definitely working. We're consistently dropping weight, which is good. Now, I got to be 100% honest. I mean, what's the point of vlogging all this shit if I'm not 100% honest, right? So today, everything was fairly normal, right? We did the eggs and the oatmeal this morning. A few whole eggs, and then some egg whites, and then one packet of oatmeal, just plain with a little bit of cinnamon, nothing else. Lunch number one was half pound of ground turkey with had potato or rice. What the fuck did I eat? I think it was rice. It was a quarter cup of brown rice. Everything spot on. In between me, in between meal number one, which was at 11 a.m., and meal number two, which was at 2 p.m. Some people in the office did order some pizza, and we had a slice of pizza, right? Whatever, man. Look, 18 days in, been very strict, right? And it wasn't that I caved. I'm being completely transparent here. It wasn't like, oh man, I got to have a slice of this pizza. I could have totally, it didn't bother me that anybody was eating the pizza. It didn't bother me. I smelled it in the office. I wasn't really craving it. I just literally said to myself, you know what? Let me go have a slice of pizza. It's no big deal. It's real. So you just work that into the macros. Now, a slice of pizza from a mom and pop pizza place, it's really hard to guess like the actual carbs, the actual protein, the actual fat, the actual calories. So you got to kind of eyeball it, right? And kind of just come up with a guesstimation. Go through Google. What is an average medium slice of pizza? And it could be anywhere from like 3 to 600 calories, or even higher if there's like pepperoni and all that shit on it. So I wrote it down as 400 calories just to be safe. It was probably less than that, but I'd rather highball it than lowball it, right? So we just worked that one cheat snack right into the macros, right? So we just cut the carbs and fat later in the day, before I go to bed, which I haven't eaten my last meal yet, and it is 9 o'clock. But I will have about 3/4 of a pound of 90% lean ground beef. That's it. Strained, get the grease out of there, or at least 90% of the grease out of there. I don't see a problem, even when you're on a cut, every once in a while, treating yourself, right? So we've gone 18 days really strict. I mean, it's been like meat and potatoes, meat and rice, egg whites, plain oatmeal. I mean, it's been pretty damn regimented, and we are successfully losing weight, right? We're on the right trajectory. But, throwing in a slice of pizza here and there. Now, if I were to do that every day, that's going to hammer the freaking progress, right? If I were to sit down today and eat a whole pizza, it's going to chip away at the progress, a lot more. One slice, contain yourself, not a big deal, right? So then, I probably won't even do that on a weekly basis. They tend to order pizza like almost every Friday, but the last 3 Fridays, hasn't bothered me, right? So it's not like I'm craving it. So yeah, we had a slice of pizza, no big deal. We just, but like I said, if you do it's not even a slip, like it was intentional. I was like, let me eat a slice of pizza, but that made me stronger. When I started out today, on those shrugs, hitting 3 plates, just like bam, cranking them out, I felt great because that slice of pizza, because I'm so carb depleted, I mean, you can see it when I do the pump checks. I mean, I've gotten smaller because all that glycogen and all that water and all those carbs are, kind of stripped out of they're slowly being stripped away from the muscle, which takes away from the muscle mass, right? To eat that slice of pizza, dude, my body just sucked it all up and just like boom, and gave me energy, honestly, right? So, but we won't do that every week, um, but maybe every 2 weeks, just whether it's a slice of pizza or maybe in 2 weeks I'll just have like a burger. Well, I don't put cheese on my burgers, but maybe I'll have a burger. Like an In-N-Out, or what do they have out here? Steak and Shake. They cook it in beef tallow, right? Maybe I'll have a burger with just some pickles, lettuce, tomato, no sauce, no cheese, because I'm trying to eliminate all the dairy from my diet. Because I'm working with my doctor to get rid of this freaking acne, man. It's so bad. I've had it my whole. I mean, since I was like 13 years old, I've had the worst acne on. It's always like on um, my back more than anything, but I've always had it like up here and on the shoulders. It's always been there. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Ah, oh, you're on gear and stuff." It has nothing to do with that. I'm telling you, I have pictures from when I was a kid, or when I competed when I was 18 or 19 years old in a natural bodybuilding show. My first show, you can see, well, you can the pictures that were taken before the Protan was put on, you could, I mean, the acne was just like, dude, man, it's like a straight up teenager going through puberty, like acne, right? And you put the Protan on, you can't, it kind of masks it. You can't really see it too much when you're on stage, but yeah, that acne is just like, and I think a lot of it's dairy related. At least that's what the one doctor who's a holistic doctor that I'm working with. That's what he says. So we're working on the gut, and hopefully we'll get rid of that, or at least get it like under control. But yeah, great shoulder workout, not bad. Happy Friday night, everybody. Cheers to you. Hope you like the workout. If you haven't been to the gym yet, get your ass to the gym, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the gun show. Have a great Friday night, everybody.